Here.
Jason Blair,
Here.
Melissa Hunt,
Here.
Louis Williams.
Here.
Adam Webb,
Here.
Mark Ham, Glenn Lewis.
Here. Would you please join me in the pledge of allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 2 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held January 3rd, 2023. Item B is approve a contract with the Association of Central Oklahoma Governments, ACOG, for the FY 2023 Unified Planning Work Program. Item C is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2022 and 2023 in the amount of $3,509,185.05.
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you. We had a motion and a second on the consent docket. Would you call for the vote, please?
Danielle McKenzie,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 3 is discuss potential updates to Article 3, Chapter 4, Section 12-406, miscellaneous aesthetic requirements for the Moore Land Development Code.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. In 1998, I'm going to ask David to maybe pull up the PDF. Sorry.
It's like magic.
There we go. Thank you. In 1998, the city code was updated to include miscellaneous, they call it miscellaneous aesthetic requirements, which we call it the bricking requirement. To simplify it, it requires 75% brick, rock, or stone on any building, commercial building in certain zoning districts and in the I-35 corridor. But it says if you have a construction of a metal building, it requires brick, rock, or stone. Since I have been the community development director, we have interpreted this as all buildings must have 75% brick, rock, or stone. Until just recently, that has worked just fine to give us what we have today. And just to give you an idea of why we require masonry, I mean, it's durable and virtually maintenance-free. And it's also compatible with the, built environment that we have in Moore today. And it also works to bolster property values in an area if you have everything built to a certain standard. So that's why it was adopted in 1998. So we do allow brick, rock, stone. We allow EIFS and stucco and hardy plank board siding, which is siding that's made out of a cementitious material. We do prohibit sheet metal and vinyl or plastic siding to meet that requirement of 75% brick, rock, or stone. But lately, we have been getting more and more applications that have a lot of metal on them. And this has been a trend in general in the architectural world. You see them all around the metro area. So for example, we have the new SSM Health building that has just been permitted, and that is 63% masonry. It has masonry on all of the sides except the front. As you can see, the front is very large. It has a very large awning, it's like a siding roof structure. But we felt that that met the intent of the ordinance. We thought that we would not be getting a lot more of these, but we were wrong. So we now have the Freeman Dental Office is a building permit that we have in that we are reviewing, and that will have about, we estimate about 50% masonry. The bulk of the building will be these prefab metal panels. They're architectural metal, so it's not going to be your typical steel building type of a metal construction. but still yet does not meet that 75% brick rocker stone. And then finally, and this did not really translate very well to PowerPoint, but the quick and clean car wash will be where the old Western Sizzlin building was. And this car wash is even less masonry at 40%. In looking at our ordinance, and I've had this conversation with architects just recently, because the ordinance does say construction of a metal building, the architects interpret that as meaning if they're using stick construction or wood construction, that they don't have to follow the ordinance. I'm not entirely sure what the intent of the ordinance was, because that was before I was employed here, but I'm fairly certain that the intent was that we would not have an all-metal building. Having said that, metal has come a long ways.
I was gonna say, I think there's a difference too between, I mean, it's like you read my mind, because there's a building that's going up along 4th Street that I drive by, and it's nothing against the business, but I mean, it's a metal building and it's slapped down in the middle of 4th Street, and I think to myself, like, we're better than that now. And so to say that there can't be any metal, there's a difference between
There
putting,
is,
you know,
yes.
So there's a difference between corrugated metal
Yes.
and architectural metal.
exactly, yes.
My business is even seeing the same thing you're talking about here.
Yes. So in doing some research on the different types of metal, as we were talking about, I've seen some communities in other larger metro areas that classify different metal siding or treatments into categories. So things, the metal siding that they consider to be of very high quality is going to be the insulated metal panels. And the brand name that they reference is Alucobond. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly, I have no idea. But it's generally a flat metal panel that you will see on some of the higher end projects. But it can also be a paneling that is metal that has the vertical seams, but you don't see any fasteners. And I think that's probably not only the construction type of the panel, but the key fact that you don't see the fasteners. Then there is a lower quality that's considered to be kind of a standard material. They equate it to the brand of Firestone Delta. And again, the key is not to see those fasteners, the bolts, the screws, and then for what they would consider to be the lowest quality would be your typical, what we would consider a metal building, where you generally will see the seams, you will see the fasteners, and we have those, pretty much all of our examples in the city of Moore would fall into that category.
You've got to be careful though, because we make insulated panels that we use just the corrugated material. Doesn't have it does have concealed fasteners.
That's
But it's
correct.
just a metal building panel that's a sandwiched insulated panel.
Yes, that is correct. And that's what I have come across in trying to enforce the code, is that you have to be fair to everybody
Yeah.
who's building a metal building. And so I can't say that based on how the code is written today, that this type of metal is better than this type of metal, because the code doesn't really go into that much detail. So what I was hoping to get some feedback tonight is, how the council feels about metal construction. And, there are some potential changes we could do to the code. We could add definitions to allow more specific metal siding. And then another possibility, which might be a little bit more difficult, would be to consider increasing the allowable metal facade, but only if the building employs quality architectural design principles.
That's what, I mean, to say that the building has to be 75% brick, I mean, even if it's a metal building and you're slapping brick up on it, that doesn't make it a pretty building necessarily. And so I would love to see us kind of up those standards, and so that we can bring some
Well, and some of
better
the s-
architecture to
some of
the
the
city.
stuff, I mean, so like glass is never mentioned
Right.
in that,
Right, so.
Exactly.
and glass should
Exactly.
be part of that.
Yes.
The code actually excludes glass windows and exterior doors. So whenever you're calculating your 75%, you don't factor in the glass or the
But like
doors.
the hospital you showed, a large percent of that front was glass.
Yes.
And that's not a window, that's a glass frontage.
Right,
And so
right.
we can definitely improve on some of those things. So the insulated panel is gonna be a tricky one. Because, I mean, we provided all the panels for the Mercedes-Benz Center in Georgia, and it is a fabulous looking. But then
Yeah.
we make an insulated panel that when you get done, it's gonna look like a metal building. And so we gotta find some
It's a difference in how
definitive
it's
way-
used in the design, yeah.
Well, and the skins
Okay.
that get used on it. Because all an insulated panel is just two metal skins filled with an expanding foam. And so you can put galvanized corrugated metal on the outside, and that qualifies as an architectural panel.
Yeah.
But it really is not what we're thinking an architectural panel
Right, it's not what we
would
want as our
be.
standard.
Right.
Yeah.
And while doing this, I know this is on the I-35 corridor. I mean, is it possible to even look outside of that at putting maybe some codes on metal buildings going up?
I think it should be, not just on the I-35 corridor.
I agree with both of them. I think
Yeah,
what Melissa
100%.
brought up earlier is problematic. I've actually had a few complaints and people ask questions. And again, I don't want to even name, I feel bad talking about the business, but people are like, why is this here? You know, you have down the road a development that was built for senior living that looks amazing and aesthetically pleasing. And you go, a quarter of a mile and you just have
Metal
what our
building,
barn
yeah.
is built out of it and Chickasha. So, so it's just like there's a huge difference there. So I kind of agree with both of them. It may be more universal.
If
Across the board.
possible, I don't want to create more of a problem, but I just think if we could get more of a uniform look throughout the city and not just the corridor, the I-35 corridor.
Sure, absolutely.
Well,
yes.
you can apply the same standards and let the percentages change to
Right.
be able to accomplish
Right.
that.
Yes.
So,
And that'd be great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thanks, Liz.
thank
Well,
you.
thanks for the
Thank you so much for bringing this up. This is, yeah.
I'm glad that everybody was so forthcoming, so we will be working on, with the city manager's office to update the code and bring something back to you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Made my night.
sure.
No actions needed on that item. Item number 4 is consider approval of the removal and replacement of designated Buck Thomas Park and Park Maintenance Facility parking lots by Silver Star Construction under the contract for public works maintenance in the budgeted amount of $563,759.33.
Mayor and council, excuse me, this job consists of removing 3 parking lot areas, 2 softball and 1 park maintenance area that have deteriorated and caused many parking issues. It's the first segment of parking improvements that will be completed out at Buck Thomas. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay,
Have
we have a
we-
motion and a second?
Sorry, Matt. Have we put out to bid to redo the parking lots? Does this include redoing them, or is this just tearing them out?
No, this is redoing them.
Okay,
And it's with Silver Star,
Perfect.
so we're using that.
Contract.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's just the start, because it all needs to be replaced.
Any other discussion?
No.
Not, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Danielle McKenzie.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Item carries. Item number 5 is considered the purchase and installation of a budgeted rotary 16,000-pound post lifts for the new Public Works Fleet facility from O'Reilly Auto Parts in the total amount of $118,325 using state contract number SW0307A.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Items 5 and 6 are related, and they're both for the new Public Works facility that has been built. The building is complete, all the pavement around it is all done, but we just need to have the equipment and the tools that we need to be able to move in. And so item number 5 is to purchase the lifts that we need to be able to work on light vehicles and trucks.
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. How long will it take for this to get and install?
They're giving us 2 months.
2 months,
Lead time,
okay.
yes, sir.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Danielle McKenzie.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 6 is consider the purchase of a budgeted rotary 84,000-pound 6-column lift for the Moore Public Works facility, fleet facility from O'Reilly's Auto Parts in the amount of $88,355 using state contract number SW0307A.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Same deal, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Danielle McKenzie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
This item carries. At this time, we will recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item number 7 is the consent docket. Item A, receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Public Works Authority meeting held January 3rd, 2023. Item B is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2022-2023 in the amount of $397,869.20.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Danielle McKenzie.
Yes.
Jason
Bless you.
Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item number 8 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Risk Management meeting held January 3rd, 2023. Item B is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2022-2023 in the amount of $601,266.85.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you both. We have a motion and a second on the consent docket. Would you call for the vote, please?
Danielle McKenzie.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and convene the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting.
Would you call the roll, please?
Danielle McKenzie.
Here.
Jason Blair.
Here.
Melissa Hunt.
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here.
Adam Webb.
Here.
Mark Ham. Louis Williams.
Here. Item 10 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Economic Development Authority meeting held December 19th, 2022.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. It's consent docket. Would you call for the vote, please?
Danielle McKenzie.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting and reconvene the city council meeting.
All right, thank you. Item number 11 is new business and citizens forum for items not on the agenda. We have a man signed up, Jeremy Park. You wish to speak? Didn't show up, okay. We have no one else signed up. Anyone like to speak? Okay. Any items, item number B is items from the city or council or trustees. Okay, item C is items from the trust manager or city manager.
Mayor and council, just one thing. Today was the deadline for the submittal of the architectural proposals for the library. So we got 7 proposals, so the committee will spend the rest of the month reviewing those, and then we'll have the presentations of the top finalists.
All right, excellent. Anything else? Okay, item number 12 is adjournment.
So moved?
Second.
All right, would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Danielle McKenzie.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, you're adjourned. Thank you for coming.